Hello, and welcome to another episode of AHS Health Matters. I'm your host, Kelly Morris. I'm here today at Lethbridge College chatting with Diane Gallagher from the college's Be Fit for Life Center. We're talking about the Alberta Cancer Exercise Program, also known as ACE. Diane, tell me about ACE.
So ACE is a program we've been running here at the college since about 2018. It's part of a larger study that's run out of the University of Calgary and the University of Alberta, where they're evaluating the benefits and the implementation of exercise program for folks who are living with and beyond cancer.
So what does the program look like for participants?
The program is 12 weeks long. What happens is, first they'll have some contact with our ACE coordinators in Calgary, and then they'll have a number of questionnaires they need to complete, and that'll allow us to get a good medical background to make sure that they're suitable participants for the program, and to make sure that we are implementing good exercises and decisions for them as they work through the program. So questionnaires are the first part, and then once that part's complete, we will have them attend our program. So we'll be starting our next one in the fall. The first session includes some sort of fitness assessments, fairly basic level. We don't want people to get too nervous about that. So we'll do things like testing grip strength, we'll test shoulder range of motion, some lower body muscular strength and endurance, just sort of doing a sit to stand test. We do a walking test that's about 4 minutes long, and a flexibility test for the lower body as well. So just some basic baseline measures to see where folks are to begin with. And then after that, we'll have them attending the program, as I said, for 12 weeks. And it's a twice a week class that they'll come to here at the college. The class runs from 9 till 10 a.m. It's a 1 hour in length, and the class will include a good thorough warm-up. Then we usually run through 2 or 3 different sort of circuits, but in a kind of a group setting. So the circuits will include some mobility exercises, some balance exercises, a little bit of endurance or cardiovascular exercise, as well as some strength training. The program is designed to start at a fairly, modest level for folks, and then we build over the course of those 12 weeks. And there's lots of opportunity to add variations within the program so that we can meet the needs of people depending on what level they're coming at and what level they need throughout that 12 weeks.
And who is eligible for the ACE program?
Anyone living in Alberta is eligible. We are looking for adults, though, for this program, so 18 plus. And then we're looking for folks who have been diagnosed, are within their treatment, or within 3 years post-treatment. So any of those people are able to, if they're still maybe seeing healthcare professionals, those professionals could refer them to our ACE coordinator in Calgary, or you can self-refer as well. You can find that information online or get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to learn more about those people and make sure that the program is suitable for them.
So it sounds like this program's been around for a few years. Are you able to share some stories of success of participants that have been through the program? What are some of the benefits of participating?
We've seen lots of benefits, a wide range of benefits for the participants. Obviously, physical benefits where folks are feeling like their energy levels are improving, their motivation is improving to be active, strength is improving, flexibility is improving. Because we do those pre and post measures, there's actually some objective numbers that we can look at from the start of the 12 weeks to the end of the 12 weeks, which is always really encouraging for people to see how they've increased. We also see that it's really a good community for people to be part of. They feel safe, they're around other folks who have been having a similar journey as them, and I think that takes some of the sort of uneasiness about being in an exercise environment away for some, and it's a really supportive and fun environment. So we also just see, in terms of like I said, energy, but also just more positivity and enjoyment in participating in community again.
Now, when is the next program, and how can people find out more about getting involved?
Our next program will be starting September the 12th, and it runs through till November the 30th. To get more information or to register, you can reach out to us here. So it would be befitforlife@lethbridgecollege.ca. We can give you some more information, but ultimately we will refer you up to the Calgary coordinator. They'll do most of the intake since they need that information as part of their study evaluation. So there you can get more information from their website, which would be www.albertacancerexercise.com. You could call them at 403-210-8482, or you could email them at ace, so ACE, at ucalgary.ca.
This is all wonderful information, Diane. Thank you so much for sharing this with us today and for inviting us here to the Lethbridge College Be Fit for Life Center. And so anybody out there who has been through or knows someone who is going through a cancer treatment and is interested in getting involved in more fitness activity, there's more information about how to get involved in the ACE, Alberta Cancer Exercise Program. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll be right back. Welcome back to AHS Health Matters. I'm now joined by Heather Mathur, and today we're going to talk about how our words matter when it comes to talking about nutrition and food with children and youth. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Kelly.
What is a healthy relationship with food?
Well, a healthy relationship with food, quite simply, is meaning to accept foods in different kinds of forms, different kinds of flavors and tastes, and helping to nourish your body and enjoying the food that you eat. And our relationship with food is complex, and it considers many reasons why we eat. It provides us with permission to enjoy our food in satisfying amounts. And it relies on our taste preferences, what we enjoy to eat, our culture, our traditions around food, and it recognizes that our eating patterns will change day to day, and that's based on our growth patterns for children, our physical activity during the day, and our environments that are around us, and our routines. So having a healthy relationship with food is really practicing balance and flexibility in our eating. It's not food rules, food restrictions. We can have, and knowing that we can have a wide variety of foods to nourish our bodies. And knowing that all foods really are part of a healthy diet, and we can enjoy these foods in moderation without feeling guilt or shame for eating them. So these are all factors that are building blocks for building a healthy relationship with food. So when we put these factors together, it gives us an understanding and awareness of how, what, why, when, and where we eat our food.
And why is it important to have a healthy relationship with food?
Well, especially for children, I think it's really important to set that base up for eating, for their success and their health for the future. So it's creating that positive relationship with food that's really critical, especially in those early years of life. So it helps support social, mental, and physical well-being for children and youth. It helps to create a positive attitude and behavior around eating, which helps with the foundations of healthy eating. And then it also allows people and children and youth and adults to listen and respond to what their bodies are telling them if they're hungry and if they're full. And this really helps children especially trust their bodies, knowing when they've had enough to eat. And then it also encourages acceptance and appreciation for all body sizes. There's no one ideal body type or size, and so that's an important message for children and youth. It focuses on overall health instead of just weight. or what your body looks like. So this really helps create a positive body image for children and youth and body acceptance, but it also helps children and youth really know that food is more than just nutrients, and it helps them enjoy eating. But I think that's an important message, for adults too, and adults really can visit their relationship with food, and some of those relationships can be built on how they were raised in their environment. And I think, a lot of people will know the clean your plate rule, have your vegetables before your dessert. So all those kinds of messages that, can be normalized in our society. So I think it's important for adults, to take a look at their own relationship with food too, because children and youth will look to adults as a role model, whether it's a parent or grandparent or a teacher. They do watch what adults are doing, so it's a good time, for them to visit if they have a healthy, positive relationship with food too.
What are some of the things that influence the way that we think about food?
Well, it's a complex situation. There's a lot of influences on why and what we eat. There's many influences, including our family and our family traditions, our family culture, where we came from, our eating environments, what food is around us, whether we're at school or at work or just out and about running our errands. A big influence, though, tends to be our media and advertising, celebrities, the diet industry, food marketing, or marketing in general. So that has these have significant roles in our relationship with food and how we think about food and our value that we put on our own body shape and image. They tend to emphasize, instead of health, really, what your body shape is, if it's thin or if it's muscular. So there's the ideal will shift, though, depending on the era we're in. So I've seen that happen. But, it doesn't focus on true health. So I think that's an important message. So this can lead to restricting food intake and obsessing about food or labeling food as good or bad. There is no good or bad food. We really want to watch for negative or short, long-term consequences of the fad diet. So things to look for, cutting out many healthy foods, being in a cycle of weight loss and weight gain that can set you up with these fad diets and the diet culture. Eating too few calories to fuel your daily activities, and it affects, how your mind even functions, not having the energy, to move your body or to think properly. And then becoming so focused on food that it begins to control your life and prevent you from enjoying your daily activities and enjoying eating too.
I can certainly think of lots of different fads that I've heard of or trends and messages that I've heard in my lifetime. So as an adult who's trying to help my children have a healthy relationship with food, what are some ways that I can learn and what are some ways to promote this healthy relationship with food that you're speaking about today?
Yeah, it's an important question, and it plays a huge role. So children and youth, really, like I said, they do watch what adults would do. So, your words and your actions really matter because they are listening to you and they are watching what you're doing. So, being neutral in your language is really important, and your behavior, because they are watching. So using neutral terms to describe food, like not labeling good, bad, or clean, or junk, etc. This builds in shame and guilt, if a child or youth will eat that food, if we label our food that way. And also using descriptive words for food, like is it crunchy, is it sweet, is it crisp, salty. Focus on the color, the shape, the smell, the flavor, the texture of the food. And ask children, was that sweet or bitter, and use descriptors like that for food. And call a food what it is. Call an apple, a cookie, a cookie. Don't refer to a cookie as a treat or an apple as a healthy kind of snack. It's just focus on, the apple is crunchy and sweet and things like that. That really plays a huge role with children, learning how to enjoy their food. And then emphasizing, that some foods are more helpful than others in helping our bodies grow and learn and play, so children understand that role. And then also respecting if children are full and if they've had enough, because they're really good at knowing when they've had enough food. So I think adults respecting that piece for children, that they'll stop when they're full and letting them tune into that, because I think adults sometimes have lost that knowing that they're hungry or full. Children are really good at knowing when they're hungry or full, so respecting that piece for children is really important.
This is all really great information, Heather. You've taught me a lot today. I'm sure other people also have a few more questions. Is there somewhere that we can go to find out more about how to promote a healthy relationship with food?
Well, we have lots of resources and classes on the AHS website. So if people go to ahs.ca/nutrition, you can see a lot of our resources, see where you can find a dietitian to speak to or register for a class. We have a new resource too, and a website for teachers and educators to go to for ways to promote a healthy relationship with food, so tips. We have the Words Matter video on there too, for educators to listen to, just for ways to consider how we talk about food and how we speak about food around children and youth. And then also on the AHS/nutrition website, you can explore your own relationship with food. So we have a handout here where you can just sort of do a self-assessment to see how you're doing, and maybe to improve your healthy relationship with food, because I think we all probably have been raised. I was raised to clean my plate or eat your vegetables before dessert. So really being aware of that, I think, is a key.
Yeah, like I said, you've got me thinking about a couple of things that I'm going to do differently with my own children at home. Hopefully everybody else has gotten a few tips today as well. I just want to thank you again, Heather, for joining us today on AHS Health Matters. And thank you again to Lethbridge College Be Fit for Life for having us here today. That's it for today on AHS Health Matters.